Well, I've joined Callum again. Callum's been fishing long, 16 and 14.5 metres shallow, but he's been feeding down the edge. Cal, any fish yet?
Yeah, there's a lot of fish in the area. I've had one or two. At the moment they're playing a little bit hard to get, but there's a lot of fish in the area, and I expect as the day goes on and the light starts to drop, it really should start catching them very, very well.
Okay, I might say Cal's fishing on the Match Lake here at Larford Lakes, and he's fishing the margins. And with the drought that we're experiencing, it's very, very shallow there. Oof, and he's in the fish. Oh, and off.
Come
well,
on.
that just goes to show plenty of fish in the swim there, Cal.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of fish there. Like I said, they are playing hard to get, but a little bit of luck, a little bit less feed in the peg. Maybe I'll start picking out my hook bait over the particles around it, to be honest.
Okay. What I was about to say to you was, with this drought we're experiencing, the Match Lake shallow bank, as we call it, is shallower than ever. I mean, Cal's only fishing in 6 or 8 inches of water there, but it's swirling up all the time. And Cal, I'm interested to know, what pole are you fishing with now?
It's an 11 metre Blue Vega. It's a very, very good pole for certain purposes. I mean, if you're just starting pole fishing, just starting match fishing, it's absolutely perfect. 11 metres in length, really, really strong, so you'll do well to break it. And it's pretty perfect as well, if you've got a top of the range pole like an Elite 88 like I have. On the days where you're just fishing in the margins like I am, or you're fishing close in, catching big weights where you don't want to wear out your Elite 88, it's perfect for that as well. It's really, really strong, really, really tough pole.
So there you have it. This is a new pole that Maver's doing, the Blue Vega. It's an 11 metre pole, and it retails for just $99.99. So for anybody starting in the sport, fantastic addition to your kit.
It takes every elastic as well.
Yeah.
Really, you can put any elastic in there. If you want to catch some massive carp, like what is possible today, you can put a big hollow dual core elastic in, and it really does take it well.
And the refreshing thing about the Blue Vega as well, if you want to add extra power kits to it, the power kits retail for around about $29.99. So you can get an array of kits there for very little money. But as Cal's explained, it's very, very strong, and I guess, Cal, the sort of pole you could use for line to hand fishing as well, I guess.
Oh, definitely. When you go abroad, a lot of the time, you don't want an expensive pole. You want something that's real strong, real tough, something that maybe in a way you can abuse. Fishing in Ireland, catching big weights of bream and roach, you can fish to hand. Like I said before, it takes any elastic. So it really has got a multi-purpose pole for £100. You really can't go wrong.
Yeah, yeah. And there it is, the Blue Vega. That's a new model that we produced this year. Fantastic bit of kit, and it's nice to see that somebody of your capabilities you're not putting down a pole at that value. It's obviously got a use in your bag, Cal.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'll always carry one with me just for those special occasions like we just talked about. It really is perfect for that.
I'm interested to see what float you're using there as well, Cal. This is one of our new slotties, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a brand new design. Really, really impressive. When I first saw it, I was a bit, well, I wondered a little bit how it was going to work, but it works absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
They sit perfect every single time. The alignment of it is perfect, and of course, invincibly strong.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll show you a close-up of this float that Cal's using, but I'll explain very, very briefly that this particular float, right, is not manufactured from Vulsa. This is a special foam that's used in the aerospace industry, and it's actually a compressed foam that will refuse to take on water. On test, that's been put into water for as long as 10 years, and it's not taken any water on board at all. And the material that the float's made of is actually used in the current Airbus wing production. So it's a very, very buoyant but very tough material. And the way the float is manufactured, this is for real bagging sessions, isn't it, Cal?
Yeah.
Where you can really, blow your floats up on fish. This has got a slot that runs right the way down the length of the body. The line goes through on a special plastic eye, and then goes through a plastic eye at the bottom of the float body as well. So it perfectly aligns but bridges that line. Then obviously he's just fixed that with 3 silicons there, and it is a fiberglass stem rather than a carbon stem. But the stem runs all the way through the body and then halfway up the actual hollow fibre bristle. So it really is a float that meets its name, Invincible. It's a fantastic bit of kit.
Yeah, the bristle, like what you just mentioned briefly then, is really, really important. It's hollow, so that means sometimes when you can draw a peg where the light's not quite right, and a lot of the bristles you can't see, but with a hollow bristle, because the light actually passes through it, you don't actually get any shadow on the water. So pretty much in any light you can see a hollow bristle, and that is absolutely perfect for that. And like what you said before, they are really, really strong. So if you're fishing a match like today at Larford, where you're going to be looking to catch a big weight, the last thing you want is a float breaking, and you have to stop, get a new rig out, replumb, do everything. So having one of these is a massive difference to your matches.
Well, Cal is very much instrumental in the design of our pole floats, and the 3 popular patterns that we've made in a number of sizes are to Cal's body float specifications. So look out for these. These are the new Invincible Slotted that will be in the shops in the next couple or 3 weeks. Well, they're certainly preoccupied on spawning here at the moment, aren't they? But that peg is absolutely full of fish.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a funny time of year at the moment. They're thinking about spawning and they're not. They need a little bit more of a settled weather, but there's an incredible amount of fish in the area. Definitely, I'm getting a lot of liners, a lot of indications. I'm pretty much sure if I carry on fishing and carry on prevailing with it, eventually I should get into a rhythm and start catching them pretty quickly. If you can catch here down the edge at Larford, that I think is always the best way of gaining a big weight, because sometimes like this you can feed by hand and they're also very big fish.
Yes.
So you need the right equipment, like what I said with this pole, it's very strong. You've got the right float, the right hooks. It's very important.
That's an interesting point there. You mentioned hooks. What hook are you using on that?
I'm using a brand new range of Maver Invincible CS21s. Now this is an absolutely fantastic hook for this, because you're likely to hook fish up to 20 pounds in this lake, and you really do need the right hook to be able to land them sort of fish. It's really strong, really tough hook.
And the reference number again?
It's a CS21.
Pass me those across, Cal. Let's have a look.
That's a size 14.
And there you have it, CS21. This is a brand new range of hooks that Maver have just bought out. This is a relatively fine wire hook, but don't think for 1 minute that you haven't got strength here, because all of the Invincible hook range are very strong hooks indeed. We're doing them for pellet fishing, we're doing them for corn and meat, worm. There's a hook to meet everything that the match angler wants when it comes to really bagging big and powerful fish. And a hook packet like that with 10 hooks is just 99p in the retailers. It's fantastic value. Again, you've had a lot of design input with these hooks, Cal.
Yeah, one of the main things I've looked at as well is the sharpness of the hook. I mean, my brother's a very good match carp angler, and he always tries to persuade me about the sharpness of the hook. Now these hooks really do cover that perfectly. They're extremely sharp.
Brand new range of hooks, and he's just now giving you the demonstration here on how strong these hooks and how sharp these hooks are. And here's a typical fish from Larford out of the margin. Not a big fish this time, but
no, a decent F1. Another good thing about those hooks, they're all got a Teflon black coating on them, so they're very invisible in the water. They haven't got a lot of shine on them. Another key feature that I've learned a lot from the carp anglers, but it really all does make a big difference when you looked at your final piece of a hook.
So a Teflon coating in black, that's going to mean they're going to keep the points a lot longer too.
Yeah, definitely, and there's no shine whatsoever. So when the hook's sitting on the bottom, there's no shine, the fish can't see it. It really is perfect. It makes a massive difference.
Okay, well, we'll be taking you through the new Invincible hook range in some detail a little later, but I might say that you've got a range of barbless hooks in this particular range in varying sizes, and you've got them in both spade end and eyed hooks. So if you're looking at doing particularly hair rigging, etc., match competition hair rigging, then you've got the perfect hooks for the job in this new range.